Let's get into some starting pitchers here, and let's just talk about where we rank them rest of season. Top blank starting pitchers rest of season. Nathan Eovaldi has been awesome this year. He was at the Red Sox, 6 innings, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. He had 18 whiffs on 90 pitches. He's got a quality start in 6 of 8 outings, 7+ strikeouts in 6 of 8 outings, 2.03 ERA, .80 WHIP, and he has just 4 walks in 48 2/3 innings. Like, he has been tremendous this season. Nathan Eovaldi has. Top blank rest of season. Top blank starting pitcher, Chris. What do you think on Nathan Eovaldi?
I don't know how to answer this. You can make a case that right now Nathan Eovaldi is a top 20 starting pitcher, and I wouldn't really argue with it with the way he's pitching right now, and with the way he always pitches in the first half. Like, he has changed his approach to prioritize the curveball, cutter, and splitter. Fastball was a little more integrated in this one, but it's been really good no matter what he's thrown. It's just 2022, 4.91 ERA after the All-Star break. 2023, 7.18, only 7 starts because he got hurt. 2024, 4.81 ERA after the All-Star break. It's just, it always comes off the rails for Nathan Eovaldi. And that makes a rest of season ranking hard. So I'm going to say 35-ish.
Yeah.
But that's like,
I think it's
top 20 until July. And then maybe not rosterable after that. That's been the trend for him.
I think that's a prudent way to rank pitchers like Eovaldi, though. And I've mentioned this with other, pitchers that have dealt with injury, right? If you think he's a top 20 pitcher on a per start basis, but has elevated injury risk, then you have to knock him back a little bit for that. And as a result, I think, probably top 36, top 30. Maybe you can get him inside your top 30 starting pitchers, but I do think Eovaldi is close to that, and he's been a huge win so far.
The thing is, it's hard to do that in the moment. It's hard to watch Nathan Eovaldi or Tyler Glasnow or Blake Snell, frankly, when things are going well and say, yeah, but he's not a top 20, like top 10, whatever. Like, it's hard to say that because, like, it feels dumb. Like, when Tyler Glasnow is healthy and pitching well, he's a top 12 pitcher in baseball. And so it's, are you ranking right now or are you ranking rest of season? Those are different questions. And I think Nathan Eovaldi right now, I probably can't name more than 20 pitchers I'd rather start than him. That doesn't mean there aren't more than 30 pitchers I'd rather have the rest of the way too.
Let's talk about Zack Gallen, who apparently just loves facing New York teams. 7 innings, 1 run, 6 strikeouts here, only 8 whiffs on 101 pitches, though. He's got a quality start in 4 of 8 outings. I mean, 3 of his best starts have been against the Yankees and then now 2 in a row against the Mets. It's just so weird that he struggles so much to throw strikes. I mean, this has been an ongoing issue for so long now for Zack Gallen. What do you have Gallen? What do you think in the rest of season for him?
I think he has remained in like the 30-ish range at SP. I don't know. He's kind of an enigma because he, like you said, the command has been bad for, really like the last 4 months of pitching that we've seen from him, basically since he came back from that hamstring injury last year. The control has been pretty bad. The curveball looks really good, though. He's got 42% whiff rate. The changeup, 37%. Like, maybe he needs to go with that Nathan Eovaldi approach and start fading that four-seamer a little more because it's not like it's helping him avoid walks anyway. That might be the case with Zack Gallen.
I'll say top 40 starting pitcher for Gallen, and in a vacuum, I think I would rather have Eovaldi. But it's close.
Gallen just feels like such a safer bet to stay healthy. But I can't argue with you. Like, I think that's a really tough one because when things turn for Eovaldi, you could also just drop him and find a replacement pitcher who helps you out, and maybe you hit something really good. So I don't know. I'd rather have Gallen, but I can see that.
What about Seth Lugo, who turned in a quality start against the White Sox? He has 4 quality starts in a row, and during that stretch, a 1.98 ERA, a .95 WHIP, 21 strikeouts over 27 and a third innings. Chris, Seth Lugo, blank SP rest of season.
Buddy, I have no idea. I cannot figure out Seth Lugo. Like, his strikeout rate is even lower than it was last year, and his walk rate is even higher than it was last year. And he's been the same guy. Like, his ERA is now lower than it was last season. His WHIP is almost identical. The normal rules do not seem to apply to Seth Lugo, and at some point, I think it will catch up to him. But I've been saying that for a year now, and it has not come true. So I have no idea with Seth Lugo. Like, I am open to the idea that these guys who throw 15 different pitches, that's an exaggeration, but only a slight one for Seth Lugo, who throws 10 different pitches.
Yeah.
That there is something about that just befuddles hitters and we can't use the normal rules to judge them. But like, that's what xERA is supposed to account for. Like, if Seth Lugo is generating so many weak swings because hitters are not sure what's coming and they're just guessing and they're flailing, you would expect that to lead to weak contact, and that should be captured in xERA. And he has a 1-run gap between his xERA and his ERA. So I will continue to say Seth Lugo is more like a top 40 starting pitcher, even though he has spent the last year plus pitching like a top 15 starting pitcher.
Yeah, I would have him even lower. I think it's more like a top 50 starting pitcher. I still think this is the sell high window on Lugo.
Yeah.
I totally hear what you're saying. Maybe he is just, because of all those pitches, he just kind of defies the metrics that we normally look at. It's totally a possibility for him, but
it's just, you would think that would lead to a lot of weak contact.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the way it would work out.
He still gave up 9 hard hits against the
White
Sox today. It's just, I don't know.
Also,
maybe Lugo will just keep making this look silly.
Did you watch the end of that game?
Oh my gosh.
The White Sox blew that game in the dumbest way I've ever seen a team lose a game.
It's like the Bad News Bears. It's no joke. It was a hit in the head on a pop-up that hit him on the head, directly on the head.
And then I think the next play is like hit right at the shortstop, and he bobbles it and can't get it was just,
oh my goodness. It's rough. It is rough.
They're somehow harder to watch this year than they were last year. Maybe because they actually have like decent pitching this year.
Jeez. Yes. It was a rough one. Tony Gonsolin, not a rough one. Solid at the Marlins again. 5 innings, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, 18 whiffs on 82 pitches. Velocity way up in this one. Tony Gonsolin, top blank SP rest of season.
We'll say 60 for now. That's off the top of my head. I don't actually, where did I move him when I updated last week? Yeah, not anywhere close to that. So let's eyeball it. Tyler Mahle or Tony Gonsolin.
I think 60 is a good number.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have, here's one. Tony Gonsolin or Brandon Pfaadt. You're the Pfaadt guy.
Yeah, and we saw a regression start last time out, and he faces the Dodgers this week, so probably more regression coming. I would take Gonsolin.
Yeah, I'm thinking tops.
I think there's more swing and miss, and he's on a better team.
Gonsolin or Gavin Williams.
Gonsolin
or Roki Sasaki.
Ooh. That is close. I won't rank it this way.
Head says Gonsolin, right?
I won't rank it this way, but yeah, like I'd rather start Gonsolin right now.
You haven't seen 2 starts from Sasaki as good as the only 2 starts we've seen from Gonsolin. You haven't seen 1 start from Sasaki, frankly, as good as anything we've seen from Gonsolin so far. Now, it's 2 starts against the Marlins. Let's see what he does against a better team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking top 60, yeah.
And last one here is Drew Rasmussen, who has struggled a bit recently. Last 3 starts, a 6.28 ERA, a 140 WHIP, under a strikeout per inning. He has not completed 6 innings all season. What about Drew Rasmussen, Chris? A top blank SP rest of season?
Yeah, he's a tough one because it feels like it should be an upside case. But if he's rarely going to throw 6 innings, is there that much difference between him and like Griffin Canning? I think Rasmussen's probably better.
Yeah.
But the strikeouts have been weirdly hit or miss, especially lately. I think Rasmussen is more like a top 75 pitcher.